Okay, episode 76.
Cool.
We talk about a lot of philosophical, society related stuff.
Agree to disagree stuff.
We get pretty hardcore into the marketing
Yeah.
and the framing of research data.
Right.
So hope you enjoy.
Yes. Merchandise.
Yes, support the podcast by hitting up shop.lmfr.com, pick up some teas on Teespring. And if you also want to support it, feel free to like,
Share.
subscribe.
And video reply.
You also forgot comment. That's cool
I said
too.
comment? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think that's more important now.
Video commenting, video replying. What's more important?
I mean, both, I guess.
Alright, so do both. Do all those.
Yeah.
Oh, photo book is out now. Fourth one. It's going for $1.
$1.
Book4.com.
$1.
Yeah.
Cool. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Boom. And we're back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is episode 76.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 76. Divisible by 325.
Okay.
It's really not, though. All right, so this is your weekly roundup where we talk about 4 things that we thought were cool from the week, and we discuss them as we play video games, hence the name, Socratic Gamers.
Yes.
Asking the constant why as we destroy the why through video games.
Okay.
So anyways, first on the docket, Vish, what's up?
Well, the online came out for Red Dead.
Ooh, been waiting for this one. Because,
Yeah.
GTA 5 online, I know a lot of people, they bought the GTA... Well, I did that. I bought GTA 5 and just played the online. Right?
Uh-huh.
I didn't
Yeah,
really care
a lot
about
of-
the
a lot of
story
people-
mode. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
Call of Duty and, all that stuff.
Yeah, that was after,
Year or
years
something.
of
Yeah,
being
yeah,
online.
2 years, something like that,
Yeah.
before I bought it. But yeah, just like this, it's So how is the online?
So
Same people were waiting for it, basically. But how's
yeah.
the online?
Oh, it's amazing. It feels like a real world simulation in the 1800s because it's it takes so much time to get to places.
Okay.
You're just riding your horse, you're enjoying the scenery, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then random encounters. So the first time I played it with our group was, I was just looking at something and then I just hear a bear growling.
Okay.
It's coming after me, and my horse hasn't been bonded to me yet
Okay.
to the max level, so the horse got scared and just kicked me off.
No way.
And then
that's
and
what
then
you're
I
saying
had to
about the
run from my
friendship, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to run for my life, and at that time my friend was kind of close by, and he used his gun and shot down the bear.
That's so crazy. All right, so how do you build teams in this? Do you have to ally yourself some way, or do you just we won't shoot each other? We make an agreement.
It's not really a talk. I mean, there are taunts if that's the way to talk, or you do have
No, I'm saying how do you build teams?
a posse.
Yeah,
They use
yeah.
posse in this one.
Okay, so how do you build a posse?
Well, whoever friends you already have, or
Oh, so you can't shoot these people? Is it no friendly fire kind of thing?
you can turn that on or off, I believe.
Okay. So
you do
naturally, if you're friends, then it'll automatically make it so that you guys can't hurt each other.
Yeah. You can. Whoever's setting up the posse can set that up.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Just a little
So,
wave.
so what else do you? What else do you like in the game?
It's more about when you have a group, it's more fun. I think if you're alone, you do have to create a posse.
Right.
Just helps to get things done a little quicker.
You spent 3 hours, you said, playing, but it's you didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't
So I think
do
I
many
ended up.
missions.
Yeah, I think the issue that I heard right now, what people are talking about, I just read a little bit. Or I didn't read it. I just read the title. Was the money system?
Okay.
They're saying it's too
Difficult.
to get so much money. It's taking a long time.
Makes
But
sense.
I mean, you can't compare it to the story mode because they're in story mode you can earn a lot of money.
Right.
But that was still the same thing even in GTA 5.
Right. It would take.
I
a
don't
while.
understand
Yeah,
what
you were saying.
the issue. Oh, see, random encounter.
Oh, interesting.
Just killed me.
So is it do they just play it's they all are roaming around in this world? Is it like GTA 5? Like it's like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
city. So like you have the whole world, and then you just
Yeah,
like
so
roam around.
you have the whole world to roam around in and do other things. There are like gang attacks, like in GTA.
Right.
I think they're called the same thing in this one.
Okay.
But then there's also like the other missions. There are a little bit of story mode in this. Like in the beginning, when you first go online, you're not right into the free roam yet. You got to do a couple missions till you get to the free roam. So that's
that's
going to
kind of
take a.
annoying.
Oh, it's more about the
Not a
lesson. It's
fan
just
of
more
that.
about teaching it,
Oh, yeah, I get what you're
how to
saying.
do it, and then once you're done that, like then you're in free roam, so you're fine after
Cool.
that. And then the character creation, I heard, was like I had a difficult time to get it right because a lot of people was like, "Yo, these faces are ugly."
Oh, really? Yeah.
But you can really go in and really get it to what you want.
So like you
But-
can you can tilt the nose in a specific
Mhm.
direction. kind of
Yeah,
thing?
there's a much more it's a much more robust character creation than GTA 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because GTA 5 was more just picking your parents, and then like that an interesting idea of doing it that way, but you didn't
Right.
really have to the level of like how your nose is,
Right,
where your
right,
mouth,
right.
how, type of size of your mouth.
But you could shift that
ears.
in this game.
You can shift that. You can add freckles. You can add like
Wow.
blemishes, like because they don't really have any like suntan kind
Right,
of stuff,
right,
so your
right,
skin's all burnt up,
Oh,
like
wow.
these sort of
It's
things.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Dude, all right, as I look at this, all right, quick side note. As I look at this, the Unabomber, I heard this on Joe Rogan podcast, but the Unabomber, he was a part of the Harvard LSD experiments, and like he realized that industrial revolution is like was really bad for our society, our human race. And that's why he started like blowing up people who were in the tech industry. Okay.
Okay.
And like, but when I see, remember like that little thing in the meme that we created because of the
Mm-hmm.
because they saw the city and they're like, oh, it's so ugly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, did he kind of just foresee something? Like it's like he went to the Nietzsche nihilism, right? But he never
Okay.
went back to the acceptance of like, oh, this is just what we do as a species.
Yeah.
He was so like plagued by the idea of us being viruses.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and he couldn't get out of it, but to realize that, yeah, you're just a virus, bro, chill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that would have helped him accept his situation.
Right.
You know, just like because I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, we're in a world with no city, which is like complete contrast to GTA 5, where it was like huge city,
Yeah.
and like this guy didn't like the city when they saw it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like about the same thing as the Unabomber, right?
That's probably was it around what kind of time area was that?
The Unabomber, like
Yeah.
early 2000s. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
Lying.
I'm
But
just,
yeah, it's sorry, side note.
Wonder what that would be too.
So anyways, like you were saying.
Yeah, so there's like other online things, there's general things like
But I would never want to go back to this world, is what I'm saying. Is it's like,
this time? You mean?
yeah, no. Like you don't
No.
have Novocaine. Not Novocaine. Is it Novocaine for your mouth? Like you have no numbing agent for when you're pulling teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just gonna be like sit there, hold it, or
Oh,
like, it'll
yeah.
just rot out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I appreciate technology.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, so what else do you like?
You really gotta take care of your horse here too.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So that's like the same as the story. And then so you have other online things, just normal missions, or like the team deathmatch kind of stuff,
Right,
or
right.
like, and it's just starting basically, right?
Okay.
Like GTA, when we ended up playing it, it's already been a couple years, and now they've expanded hugely, right? So like even till the end, a couple months ago is when they released like the whole on GTA was like the owning a club and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And managing everything, and it could be run automatically kind of thing. You don't have to go to do your other things that you own in the online world. So this is just starting, basically still in beta because they're so like they did it like incremental.
Release.
Yeah. So anyone who bought the Ultimate Edition started off on the first day on Monday,
Cool.
and then whoever played on whatever these specific days that they had, and now on Friday was everybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any like bugs or lagging?
Yes, there's
okay.
been quite a few,
Oh, really?
but it's in beta,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
understandable. They call
Yeah.
it beta anyway, so yeah.
So like the caveat's there.
Yeah.
This is not perfect.
Of course, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That's cool. Yeah.
But
So
it's-
is it a must play?
Yes.
Cool.
I think so. I feel like
I find this
it's
more
like a
entertaining.
simulation.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
for
want to
sure.
use that word, right?
I find this more entertaining than the story mode. Just like GTA 5, like I find the online more entertaining than the story mode. But quick side note again, you speaking of simulation, we were talking about it last night. Like Ready Player One is so real because
Mm-hmm.
like the way
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the way you guys, like your posse online, you guys went from GTA 5 to this, like you were all agreed that we're gonna buy this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's like just like Ready Player One the movie, where it's like, okay, we'll just jump into a new game. You're just changing the load disc,
Yeah.
but you are still the same person behind it. You have
Mhm.
like online friends. You know what I mean? It's like online
Yeah.
worlds is
Yeah.
crazy. It's like, okay, let's all just play some shooter today. You know, it's like, oh, we'll all meet in the shooter chat room.
Right.
You know, if you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch Ready Player One as a movie.
Oh yeah,
For-
it's really good.
So good. Like
Yeah.
that is the future.
And if you know old
I think
games,
I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
you?
Yeah, it was so good. I kind of want to watch it again now. It was so good.
Yeah.
That was like the best movie I've ever seen.
I can
That's my
see
number one. Beat
it. I
Matrix
can see
for
it
me.
getting there. I can see it getting there, and I wonder if it would be Rockstar who does it.
100%. I believe in Rockstar. Good job, guys. Sponsor us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so.
All right, go into the second topic because my 2 topics are merged together. Like they'll lead off of your next topic.
Oh, so you're asking me?
Yeah, you go. You go first for your next one.
Oh, okay.
So the second topic from Vish is
There's a new polling came out about climate change.
Okay, yeah. And the origin of this is
Get a little political here.
Yeah, we'll go to the origin. I read an article that said, well, I wouldn't say I read the article. So the article basically
Okay.
was about how scientists are going to shoot something into the atmosphere to dim the sun.
Okay.
That was the study.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the article I read was that nobody actually read the article,
Uh-huh.
the actual study,
Yeah.
because people are going all hyped. They're like, oh, the scientists are just going to shoot something, dim the sun. And then the scientists had to come out with another article saying, like, no, that's not actually what we meant. You guys just didn't read the article.
Okay.
So that's what that article was about. But then, ironically, I only read the tagline of this article.
Uh-huh.
So I am in that same boat. It's like a compounding effect.
I think a
you know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people are on that boat.
So I'm like, oh, like scientists say that people didn't read the article.
I mean, a lot of people. I mean, people don't have time to read.
Yeah, you like, but
Right.
that's why I brought it forward to you. I was like, maybe you should check this out because like you'll invest time in reading it. It's just not something I'm interested in. Like I'll just get the
Yeah.
summary notes.
Right.
It's sort of like how I keep reading books, and it's like you're like, not you, but like
Uh-huh.
people are like, how can you read so many books? It's like, yeah, because I'm interested in it. But then when I come to you with it, I'm just giving
Yeah.
you a summary of the book. Like
Okay.
we can't know everything. That's why
Yeah.
collectives work, right? I
Yeah.
come to you for tech advice,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. But anyways, so go ahead.
Oh yeah, so it was what they title it as. It's an age and political ideology are the 2 primary indicators for the poll that was in Canadian.
Oh, it was a Canadian poll?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know
of
that.
Canadian opinion on the causes of climate change and whether climate change is real.
Okay.
According to that poll, that was the poll that they were doing.
Okay.
So they were polling. So the So in the political sense, is we have 3 main parties, which is the Conservative Party, Liberal Party, and NDP.
Okay.
And so the Conservative Party, in their belief in global temperatures rising.
Okay.
See, this global temperatures rising.
But see, there's a difference
Doesn't
between
mean-
temperature and climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are they're relating this.
Actually,
This question is related because it connects to like recently what happened with it was the UN that said like in some odd by 2030 it will be
Right.
under whatever the percentage
It-
of temperature rise is going to be at. So that's why this is coming off of that.
It's
poll.
funny. It's funny because like I was talking to Sid about this. Sid, if you're listening, shout out to you. What up? So it's funny because like I was like telling him like, oh yeah, like this climate change thing, and he's like, the climate changes every day. I'm like, no, you're thinking about temperature. There's just
Weather changes everything.
weather, yeah, but temperature, same thing. Weather, temperature, no.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so you're thinking temperature, but there's a difference between temperature and climate. Climate's like temperature over an extended period of time, like
Yes.
right.
Yeah, it's like an aggregated.
So when
thing.
people are like, "Oh, climate change is real. We can see it outside," it's like, no, that's just fluctuations in temperature, but climate is more.
Yeah, weather.
aggregate than-
What they say, they normally say like weather is different than climate.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead.
So
So like that already, it's like if you don't understand that distinction,
yeah,
I had to learn this though. Like I would have never guessed that. Like I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
climate change is real. Look at outside, but it's like no, that's just temperature or weather. But so like if you don't even understand that part of it, it's like, so who's doing the polls? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
there's so much bias around that kind of stuff.
yeah.
that,
So
like,
these polls didn't go specific into, like they went into just your opinion. It's an opinion.
okay, so opinion.
It's not.
They're
They're
biased. Every opinion's biased.
No. It's yes, of course. But what they want to see is, well, what do the people think,
Okay.
and then how does that cause how you vote, basically, right?
Okay, so there's a political agenda.
Well, they're not doing a political agenda. They're just saying like these polls can be used. So like a liberal party who's got, so in the poll, basically conservatives, the amount of percentage is about 71%
Okay.
believe in, well, this specific one was global temperatures rising.
Okay.
Based off this UN thing.
Okay.
And then the liberal one is 95%.
Okay.
And then
Makes sense, liberals.
And then NDP voters were
0%.
96.
Oh wow.
percent.
95. So NDPs are higher than liberals.
By 1%. Yeah.
Ultra progressives.
Yes. And then they go into age ranges, right? So, actually, let me go specific before that. So 30% of Canadians believe climate change is either the result of natural causes or is an unproven theory.
Wow.
So that's, you're putting in two categories into one thing.
Oh, I see.
So that's not really giving you the.
Right. That's how you skew the votes. All right. So somebody who is all right.
Well,
so,
they're not skewing the vote. They're giving you the exact information what they asked. So you have to really look into what the poll is saying.
No.
Yeah.
Skewing the votes is in this. So like, if I need
Well, people who don't understand it.
that's
Yeah.
but all right. So I took a marketing research course at Lane
Gotcha.
University. You had to take one.
Yep.
So in that, it's like what I realized. I never really like explicitly said this,
yeah.
but like I'm like, oh, this is all you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need something done, if you need to prove something,
Yeah.
right, to be in favor, like it's like, okay, I need this amount of money, right? But the only way I'll get that amount of money is if I can prove to you that I need the money.
Yeah.
So through polling, I'm going to show that, people believe in it, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I just do exactly what it said there, if I lump the two together, then I can like increase the number than if I separate it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I said it's skewing the votes.
No.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
all right, how am I just going to present the information to force you
Yeah.
to give me the number I want?
Yeah.
I remember I was in PR class, and like,
I'm gonna leave this to the end. Like how many people took that poll?
Okay,
I'll leave
okay,
that up to the end.
so they invited this guest speaker in, and like I find it like Tara said something to me, like, and I was like, that's very true. Yeah, she's like, you're naturally a shit disturber.
Okay.
So like that kind of rubs people the wrong way sometimes. And I was like looking back on my history, I'm like, yeah, that's true actually. Yep, you know me quite well. So this PR class, this person came in. You know what it is? I told my dad this. I just don't like to be peed on and then be told it's raining. Like if you're gonna pee on me, just be like, hey, I'm gonna pee on you.
Great
and I'll be like, you know what? I'll take the piss. But if you're gonna pee on me and be like, no, it's good for you.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, man, don't lie to me. Just
Are you
like,
R. Kelly? Sorry.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Okay.
So anyways, just you can pee on me all you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
Just tell me it's piss.
Okay.
So in PR class, they invited this person in who did this like study
Yeah.
on like texting and driving leads to bad, like more crashes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying that that's not true. I definitely believe that if you text and drive, you're most likely going to have more crashes. It's logical sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when she explained the test, she's like, so I was like, well, how did you perform the study? She's like, oh, studies show. I'm like, all right, who made the study? She's like, we made the study. I'm like, all right, there's already bias because you guys made the study, so you're trying to prove a point. So I was like, what did you study? And then I always do it politely though. I know I don't do it this mean, but so I'm like, so how did you conduct the study?
Yeah,
She's like,
that's the main thing.
Exactly.
Right?
So she's like, we got this person to drive by I think they put like a blinder on him, like he wasn't even texting, and then they made stuff pop out at him at random times and measured his reaction time to stop. And I was like, but that's not the same instance.
No, they're not. That's just only specifically about distracting drive. That doesn't necessarily.
That's what I'm saying. So you're only really just showing a thing, and then you're making the evidence. If you really wanted to conduct a real study, actually have them texting and like measure how many times like this like you know what I mean, like I don't know exactly.
Or yeah, but it's more like it should be more like the ones who get into accidents, and you see like what was the cause of that accident, or how. Did
for sure.
So that's
something like that. It's like actually within the scope of the thing you're trying to prove. Right. But if you take a tangential experiment and you try and overlay the results onto a specific event, then that's bias. Right, because it's like it's not apples to apples. Mm-hmm. You're doing apples to oranges, and you're saying the result from the orange is the same as the apple. But if you want apples to apples, measure people who are actually texting. Yeah, so that's why I don't believe in studies like that. Market studies. I believe in scientist studies because scientist studies they have to go through a panel. But even that is still biased because I've heard things about like scientific studies being biased.
You have to know but it's like you have to look into how that study was done.
Exactly.
Because so it's not them necessarily that's writing about the articles that use these the clickbait titles, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's more like they don't understand the study and they make it like they think this is what it meant.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
So that's the problem.
All right, let me all right, jump back to this. So when I was in marketing school, so I realized there's like a little hack. So all I have to do is just come up with a logical argument and then Google that argument and find an article that supported my claim. Mm-hmm. So I just started doing that, and people like my professors were like, shout out to all of you. Sorry, now you know the trick. But now then they would be like, oh, well researched. Good job. But it's like, no, I came up with an idea and then I just had to make the study suit my idea.
Yeah.
But that's what you guys do all the time. So it's like, but if I'm hacking the system, if I'm cheating, you guys are cheating too.
Exactly. You have to be an independent source. It doesn't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to take a third party thing that had nothing to do with you and then overlay those statistics on.
That's why you gotta look at who did the study.
It's like arm's length.
How did the study was done? Like, there's so many things into this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what is the result?
So, what is this here? What number? What is it saying here?
Surprise, fish. We're reading the article right now.
Sorry. Okay, so I just read that 30% of Canadians believe in climate change. It's unproven, like natural causes or unproven theory. Okay. So it's it jumps to that number jumps to 56. 56% are past conservative voters who believe this. Okay. And then it's 16 and 12% liberal and NDP.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That within the group of past, whatever, conservative, liberal, NDP voters, these amount of percentages think that it's
it had already.
It's a result of natural causes, and it's still unproven theory. You're doing two things into one. It's the one question that asking two things.
Okay.
Right. So overall it's 30%.
Okay.
But
overall 30% what? 30%
Canadians
believe.
Yeah.
That climate change is real.
No. This one is unproven. It's either the result of natural causes or unproven.
Okay.
Or an
I
unproven
understand. Okay, so basically what you're saying, because I'm like trying to summarize it to make it easily digestible. Basically, what you're saying is that 70% believe climate change is real. The 30% don't, right? And the 30 out of that 30%. So who makes up the 30%? Are people that already don't. The majority of that 30% are the people that already don't believe in climate change. That's what you're saying.
In the specific question. The specific question.
Okay. So the 30% that are against climate change already have it in their minds that it wasn't real.
That it's not. It's natural.
Natural.
It's asking two things though. It's kind of like it's not really giving in proper. Like it's.
I think I'm confusing myself.
Okay.
All right.
It's saying okay. The percentage they're basing this off of the question that's asking is it the result? Either it's the result of natural causes,
Okay.
or it's an unproven theory.
Okay.
You're adding two things that
Oh no,
are
yeah, of
not
course.
supposed
Yeah,
to
of
be
course.
together
Yeah,
in
of
this
course.
percentage.
Yeah, of
I don't
course, of
like.
course.
So,
yeah.
so
No, because
it's
you
still
could
not
measure
giving
two
you the
separate
exact
things. Yeah,
answer.
No, of course, because those
right?
are unrelated.
Exactly.
Because unproven theory
Yeah.
and natural disaster, natural cause, are
Totally
not
different.
dependent on each other. Like they're
Yeah.
completely separate things. So
Yeah.
why are you lumping them together?
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. To skew the numbers in a way that makes it more accommodating to you.
No. The question is wrong. I think.
No. I'm saying as the marketer who invented that,
Yeah.
they were skewing the
Well, it's-
study. They knew. I'm sure somebody was like, "Well, hey,
I don't know
man,
who
these are
owns these
two
studies,
different
but I know
things."
who did the study. I know who did. I don't know
who
much
did the
about
study?
those people. Much about the
Give them some shade. Who did the study?
the Angus Reid Forum.
All right. So if you need facts that should be skewed,
So they're
in a
saying
specific
here, I
manner-
went to their website. So they said the Angus Reid Forum is Canada's most well-known and respected online public opinion community.
Wow. And they couldn't differentiate between the science.
So
and-
members answer questions and complete surveys on top. Yeah.
Are they backed by liberal money or conservative money?
I don't know,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
but they have both in their forum. I can join the forum,
Yeah. Okay. So all.
and there's incentive to do these questionnaires.
Yeah. So
I
if you're
saw.
all right, so if there's incentive, if I'm a poor person who needs the money, I will easily do these questions. Be like, I don't care. Just give me the money at the end. So I don't believe in polling. I don't think people.
I think it depends on how the polling is done.
That's true, but I feel like
Let me go to their website here.
I
Yeah.
feel like human beings can't objectively observe themselves.
So it's here, earn rewards, answer surveys, collect and redeem points. We offer prepaid credit cards, gift cards, and prizes.
See, that's ridiculous. Such a huge incentive to do it. So of course, people who want to hack the system are going to end up doing it. So what's your
Yes.
intelligence level of answering it? Do you think a multimillionaire?
No, they're not answering. They're not asking intelligent questions. They're just asking your opinion.
No, I know, but who's
Right.
drawn to answering that poll?
Yeah.
Like, is it the lower
whoever-
class, middle class, upper class?
So that's a good question.
That's what I'm saying. So
that
like,
needs to be done.
in marketing, you
That's
have
a poll
to
that needs to be
segment-
done.
Exactly. You have to segment your audience
Right.
accordingly. You have to
Right.
know who it is you're targeting,
Okay.
and it's like
All right.
so.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's so biased. That's why I don't believe in polls. It's like
It depends on who's done the poll and how much you know about these people. I don't know
Exactly.
anything
And-
about this. They
and-
could be respectable as they say they are.
Right,
I don't know.
Right. And like lower class tendency is that they're less educated than the upper class. Not negatively. I'm just saying you don't have
Yeah,
the same
but we're not-
resources. You
I
can't
understand
pay for
that.
tutors. No. But what I'm saying is, so even
Well,
the ones
basically
who
what they're
answer this,
saying is-
what's their level of knowledge on the subject matter?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So based on that, like, how are people voting? Based on their just opinion. That's what they want to see.
Exactly. Mindlessness.
On past-
It's mindlessness. It's all right, which is perfect. Are you done with that? Because this is a great segue into my topic.
I want to tell you how many people
Alright.
were in that.
oh, yeah, that's what I was asking.
So not everyone in that read forum would be voting necessarily, right? They
Okay.
don't have to.
Okay.
So how many people you think was in this?
14.
No.
Oh. That's another way to bias it because you don't say how many people did it. You're just like, oh, here's the percentage. But it's like, yeah, 12 people answered it. And they were all my friends. Come on, bro.
Yeah. So that's the wrong
ridiculous.
information. Yeah. It's
It's like, it's so, that's what I mean. Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining, bro. Just tell me, this is piss.
right.
It's fine.
I don't have it on here, but I think it was 1,500 people.
That's such a
In
small...
1,500 people out inside their own in that forum and
how
in
many-
their people.
And
in
how
their
many people are in
members-
Canada?
Their members.
And how many people are in Canada?
30 million? Is
Yeah,
that right?
all right. So you got 1,500 people out of 30 million people to answer this.
Yes, yeah. That's why you
Can
have to
I-
read where this poll is coming from, right? There are polls like they could
So
do.
ridiculous.
There are polls that they do get it right.
Uh-huh.
But how they're doing the poll,
Exactly.
they have to understand the demographic and which segments who they're asking the questions to. Like,
Right.
so for instance, I believe they got the midterm elections in the U.S. correct in the
Okay.
polls.
Yeah.
In the early poll, whatever
Okay,
that was,
okay,
right?
okay.
So because they had changed their way of asking these questions, or how they viewed it, because they were totally wrong in the 2016 presidential election,
100%.
because they did not think about populism idea
Right.
at all.
Exactly. So again, pee on me all you want. It's fine. Just tell me it's piss.
Okay.
Don't be like, this is some amazing rain right now.
Okay.
A warm rain.
Mhm.
Just, you know what I mean? Like,
All right.
it's insulting. It's insulting for me.
Well, yeah, that's why you had to read it, and then you
You
judge
polled
how this is
1,500
done.
people out of 30 million people.
But that's how it's
And
done,
you
though.
cri-
But
that's
it's
piss.
no, it's not.
That's piss.
Depends on how it's done and who is doing this. That's what I'm saying. Because you can still, I don't know how
Okay.
many people they voted for the midterm ones, but I'm pretty sure they didn't they didn't poll 300 million people, but they got it right.
It's piss.
That's what I'm saying. They got
Peeing
it
on
right,
me.
though.
You're peeing on me, though. I'm just saying, you're peeing on me.
I'm just saying.
Admit it's piss.
You have to look at how it's done.
All right. Yeah, you have to look at how it's done.
That's
But that's what I mean. It's like, no, it's piss. So you're looking at how it's done. Like, it's not
right.
rain.
So
It's
when
piss.
exactly? So when the only issue I have is there's nothing wrong with doing these polls because they're telling you
That's
exactly
what I
how they're
said.
asking these questions.
You can tell me how you're peeing on me as long as you tell me you're peeing on me.
Exactly, but when they use this information the wrong way,
That's what I'm saying.
that's the problem.
That's telling me
That's
it's
my
rain.
problem.
That's telling me it's rain.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though it's piss.
It's so this is not a political person saying this. This is just their individual forum who's doing this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean it represents the whole world.
100%.
This only represents their people in that forum. That's
but
it.
then who is the marketer who's using the data to skew like an agenda?
I would say
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So that's why. Yeah, exactly.
Who did the study? It was ridiculousness.
I know. That's anyway. I think we're agreeing on many things here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there are good polls too. That's all I'm trying to say. I guess you agree with that.
I do.
All right.
All I'm saying, tell me it's piss. You know?
I'm not going to do that, but that's fine.
No. I like them. I mean,
Yes,
But some people-
who's reporting on this
some
should be.
people don't want to be told
Right.
it's piss. Some people want to be like, oh, it's raining. It's so nice outside. It's raining.
I mean, I think if you just read the title,
Whichever side of the
if
fence you want to be on.
If
You
you
wanna be
read the
asleep or
title,
awake?
yeah,
I'm
if
just
you read the title, you're getting the wrong information.
Which I read the title.
You got to read the article
All right. So
or the study.
okay. Okay, moving
All right.
on to our next topic about people being asleep.
Yeah.
Separatists, either separate or symbiotic beings.
Yeah.
Okay. We like to idealize and glamorize ourselves for being separate entities,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't realize that we're symbiotic beings, and it goes
Meaning?
beyond. Okay, so it goes beyond. It goes beyond being. All right, so if I do something, it's going to affect you, right? If you do something, it's going to affect me.
Yeah.
That's symbiosis.
Okay.
We're working together in one collective
Mhm.
thing. But we think in terms of individualism, which is like, if I do something, it won't affect you. That's not true.
Okay.
Right? It's like the butterfly effect. Not butterfly effect. It's like that if the butterfly is flapping its wings, then somewhere in the world there'll be a tornado. That's not real, but you understand the analogy.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying is like we extrapolate that even further. So psychedelic plants, right?
Yeah.
The most amazing thing I heard was that these psychedelics are actually produced by the plant to force us to propagate the plant because we want to continue the psychedelic feeling, or even not even psychedelic feeling, like if it numbs our pain.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so if Advil, ibuprofen, wherever that comes from, a willow tree or something, if that numbs our pain, we're going to plant more willow trees,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And that's how humans are. We think, oh, haha, I'm being clever. I'm going to create more pot plants because pot makes me like high,
Yeah.
right? But the plant is going, haha, I'm forcing you to spread me by making you high.
Okay.
Good. So it's like who's turning the wheel, chicken or egg, right?
Yeah.
It's just like bumblebees. Bumblebees
Uh-huh.
go from flower to flower collecting the honey,
Okay.
but they don't realize they're pollinating and spreading the flowers, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
That's symbiosis.
Okay.
That's the human race. That's the truth behind the human race. That's what we're literally doing.
Yeah.
but we don't see it because we think of ourselves as individualistic or above other things.
Okay.
We believe that we're like special.
Yeah.
Right? Especially like religions will tell you like you're very special. God made this for you, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like if you actually look at the way the organism, if you look at the human being as like an organism or like an anthropologist,
Yep.
you know, you're like looking at it outside, you can actually see the tendencies, right? That's why I said you can't objectively observe yourself. You need a third person who's looking on the outside in
Yeah.
to like be like, oh, this, Stylebender is facing Anderson Silva. And he said this amazing thing, like, because people are like, oh, how are you going to fight Anderson Silva? He's like, this man doesn't know that I've idealized him for such a long time. I've been studying him from the outside in, so I know him better than he knows himself. I can tell when he's about to strike. But it's true, though, because it's like,
No,
you're
yeah.
not, because for me, I think I'm running off of, like, intuition, awareness, but you don't realize that we're governed by patterns.
Yeah.
Determinism, right? So being a third-party observer, you're able to observe the pattern, because the only time I can observe the pattern is if I contemplate on myself, if I observe it myself. But when you're in action, you don't have enough time to contemplate your own pattern, right? And there are things you're going to be missing because you're like first-person viewing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's like the human race. Like we're an organism that doesn't realize it's an organism playing its part in a symbiotic system, just like the worker bee,
Okay.
the bumblebee that's spreading the pollen.
Right.
The bumblebee's thinking, haha, I'm getting honey. The plant's thinking, haha, I'm getting you to spread me. Right?
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, mind blow.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like, but I think if we take...
I think we agree with that.
Yeah,
I
but
agree with that.
100%. But I think it's like if we just take time to appreciate the system, we'd feel less bad about like our lives.
Oh yeah.
Because like, what does it even mean to die, right? The bumblebee is like, oh, I'm gonna die, right? My bumble kids and like whatever, you know, my wife and family. But it's like, yeah, but if you look at it aggregately, you were just a part of a system. And it's very hard for people to grasp that. And I feel like that's why people have these crazy revelations when they're like on psychedelics. It's like, oh my God, this is what we are. But it's like, if you just contemplate it enough,
Yeah.
this wouldn't surprise you,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
It's sort of like whenever I come home and I'm like, oh my God, mind blow. And you're like, I've already contemplated this. Like, it's not a mind blow. And I'm
Yeah.
like, true, but I haven't.
Yeah. Right.
So it's
No,
like,
I know.
It's
Yeah.
a mind
yeah.
blow to me.
Yeah.
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 We're like such an organism species, we don't even know it.
Of course.
And who's in control? We think we're in control,
Yes,
but really the plant.
relating to what we talked last week, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or even
Or was it last week? Yeah. Anyways.
even like gut bacteria.
Uh-huh.
The gut bacteria is what creates your hunger. So if you eat a lot of sugar, the gut bacteria is going to crave sugar, so you'll want to eat more sugar.
Yeah.
But you can actually change your gut bacteria to crave like, you know, avocados.
Yeah.
But like that takes effort and work.
Mm-hmm.
So see, if you run on autopilot, you won't notice these things. But if you take the time to like contemplate these things, you could see that who's really in control.
Yeah.
But even that's an illusion because I believe in you believe in determinism too. So it's
Yeah.
like we're really just. I believe that's what the ancient yogis would say when like we're just watching a movie play out.
Right.
Like it's just, you don't real the actor has been confused by his role. He doesn't realize he's just an actor
Yeah.
playing in this movie that's already been recorded.
Mm.
You know, so yeah. And then that brings me to the next topic,
Yes.
which is superficial illusions.
Okay.
So we are actors in a play. It's like it's not real. Like
Mm-hmm.
we create these superficial characters that we interact with on a day. So this guy, I was filling up gas, and then I'm going to fill my gas, and then the guy goes, "Oh, I haven't seen these gases, these prices so low in so long." And I go, "Yeah, it's crazy, right?" And I keep on going out with my day. But it's like, but that's the superficial character I had to create in that moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's an illusion. As I was driving off, I was like, "Wow, that was such a fake interaction."
Right.
You know, we create these illusory characters that are like not real in order to satisfy a human cooperative.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
this
but
is-
it's just like the worker bee hive ant thing that we were just talking about. It's
Yep.
like it's not real. It's like,
certain interactions. They aren't real. It's
but
just
the
to
majority
keep
is
the
superficial.
appease, keep the
Right. Like
whatever.
things are just rolling along. We're just rolling along.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like it's like that's why I don't believe in friends or acquaintances. Like, or does it sound like, all right, no, like not to go like too emotional or whatever, but I don't actually consider you and like certain people like friends because I've known.
Hurts. Yeah.
No, because I've known you guys for so long. I consider you more like brothers, like family, because I can really like to your family. You don't really like, you don't hide it because they've known you for so long. It's like, all right, I'm gonna be with you forever. I'm just gonna be annoying, or I'm gonna be this, right? I'm just gonna be my true self. I'm not putting on a facade when I'm around you, because I'm like, I know you're gonna be there, so it's like I'm just like I've dropped the facade because it's been long enough.
Yeah.
Right. And like, but if you look at the friends and acquaintances, you keep the facade all the time. Yeah. Like people are so afraid to let other people know who they really are. And yet everyone's like, oh, nobody understands me. No, duh, because you're not showing who you really are. Because we're living in a superficial society where we need to act as if we're in a cooperative, oh yeah, I think the same way as you do, blah, blah, blah. But then the weirdos are the ones that like, oh, how come you're saying that? It's like, no, it's just because I'm trying to be real right now. Like, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have a very short amount of time on Earth. Right. So am I going to waste it appeasing to your reality? Why don't I just find people that think the same as me and then have these collectives?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But I guess, like, then they're like, oh, what about the KKK and, like, all that? Like, you know? It's like all those negative groups, right? Yeah. But it's like, let them be what they want to be, man. In the end of the day, it's going to work itself out. It's just struggle powers. The KKK believes that they are correct. The Liberal Party believes they're correct. Whoever's the big party is going to win and beat out the smaller party.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happened. They have no power. Really.
If Hitler had won World War II, we'd all be like, oh, anti-Semitism's normal. But because they lost, Liberal Party wins. Oh, everyone's accepted. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how it works. It's like whoever's got the biggest gun is going to win. Yeah. I read it in the Crossing the Chasm book.
Freedom. Yeah.
I think I posted it. Let me pull it up. It's my favorite line from that book. Hold on. Just pull it on Instagram if you want to see if it's on Instagram, because I put that up on Instagram.
What is your Instagram?
At Ervil James.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. So here's the quote. I've always found you get a lot more in this world with a kind word and a gun than you do with just a kind word. Again, it's like, hey man, you want to join me? And you're like, I believe the world works this way. It's like, no, I don't agree with you. Well, I was polite, but here, now I'm going to just take it from you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's literally how the world works. If you look at like Western society, supremacy and stuff, the one with the biggest gun is going to get their way.
Yes.
Why did Hitler lose World War II and now we're not under his regime? Because what do you call it? The Allies?
Yes.
The Allies worked together and they ended up having a bigger gun than the, what do you call this? Axis?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, yeah, just
the other side, yeah.
Yeah, but if the other side had bigger power, we would all be like Hitler right now. But
they did in the beginning.
They did in the beginning, but then people like, that's why like you can't really get caught up in the illusion of like what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's just gonna work itself out.
I think we talked about that, right? It was because of Russia. Russia was able to make more tanks than Germany could.
Sure, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Facts.
It was Russia.
Hashtag facts.
USSR.
But so
the communist government.
Hashtag facts. So circling back, what I'm trying to say is that's the superficial illusion of life.
Yeah.
And you just need to accept the play. It's like, no, do your part though. Like, oh, I want to fight for this, and like I want to get my freedom of speech out there, and then this other guy's like, I don't want freedom of speech. Like Jordan Peterson. I agree with Jordan Peterson. He's not against freedom of speech. He's just like, who's going to regulate it?
Yeah.
That's all. And I'm like, that's true. Because who's to say what is freedom of speech and what is hate speech?
Yeah.
You can't define it.
Exactly.
So don't put a law against it.
That's
all
a
logical.
That's all he was fighting for.
And then people are like, oh,
and for that he became huge.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson doesn't believe in freedom of speech. It's like, no, he doesn't not believe in it. He believes if it could work, but he says it can't work.
No, I don't think that's what the fight was. He believes in freedom of speech,
but he said he can't regulate it.
Yes.
So there shouldn't be a law.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, what happens is, in the natural course of things, language
it'll just work itself out.
Changes.
No, but that's what
like we don't say the stuff we did
Yeah, of course.
Because
Yeah,
it changes.
yeah. But what he said is
Yeah,
like
social demographic change.
you shouldn't suppress their speech. You
No.
should let them speak, because when people hear it, they're like, "Oh, that's wrong."
Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly.
yeah, people will inherently figure it out.
Exactly.
And if they don't,
That's what I mean.
Well,
That's
then
what
you're
I
in
agree
a system.
with you.
If the majority doesn't figure it out, then you're just in a system that you don't belong in. That's fine. That's just how it is. Don't let the vocal minority change the majority's mindset. People are generally nice, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it's just a very select few that aren't nice,
that's right.
you know? And then even, okay, so even though you and I see the world differently, right? No, I mean like as contrast to the majority of the world.
Yeah.
Because not many people would say the things we're saying right now.
Right.
But so when I say like people are genuinely nice, even you and I, even though we disagree with the majority, we don't give them a hard time. If you're telling me something, I'm like, oh, cool. Like if you ask anyone, I'm 100% sure the biggest response, like 99% people say, oh, you guys are very kind, polite people.
Right.
Of course, because it's like, I just understand that we just don't see the world the same way.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So it's like, people who have dissenting opinions will not be negative towards you if they're knowledgeable enough to understand that people don't see the world the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Superficial illusions, man. That's what I realized. Having that one conversation. It's funny how like inspiration can hit you in one instant. Like that one conversation exploded me, and I was like, "Oh, that was fake."
Right.
I was being super fake to that guy.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, you're so polite," like blah blah blah, right? But like in that fake interaction, I realized, oh, we're all under fake interactions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you just need one impetus. And, you know, but yeah. So, anyways, hopefully we were the impetus for you this week in enlightening you to a new way of looking, because we are gods among men. No, but do you see how that could easily have switched?
Yeah.
Like all right, is what all right. So I don't like it when you use knowledge. All right, so in business, there's a thing called knowledge power. Like you use like knowledge gatekeeper. If I have a piece of information that could help you out, I'm going to hold on to that because it gives me power over you.
Yeah.
Because then I have something that you don't have, and I'm like limiting your growth.
Yeah.
So I don't like it when just because you have like a very revolutionary or like welcoming idea, if you jive with what we're saying, realize that we just like looked into it.
Yeah.
And just look into it.
Yeah.
We're not special.
No.
And I think that's where you get into these weird like culty things, like what Osho had a lot of good things to say.
Yeah.
But that's what made him a false idol, because people are like, oh, he's a guru. You know? And I'm sure there are other people that are listening to us who are like, wow, you guys sound like really enlightened, blah, blah. You're like learning all this stuff that I have no idea about, and you're like exploding my mind right now. But it's like, yeah, just look into it, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
That's
I will not tell you that I'm any more special than you. And everyone always says that, right? Like, oh, I'm just a normal person.
Yeah.
But like, we really mean that. Like, if you just read as many books as like I had, or you'd watch as many docs as Vish had, you'd be like, oh, this is how the world works. It's like, yeah, just educate yourself. That's it. And then you'll realize, oh, I educated myself. And then you could start to see like people who haven't continued the path after school.
Yep.
People are like, oh, school done. All right, that's all I learned. I'm done. Right? But like, if you just taken the time to find out more, then it'd put the world in a better place.
Yeah. We'll make more better educated choices.
And we know that polls are like silly, you know, because some people are going to read that poll and be like, oh, that must be the way the majority thinks. The majority thinks correct. I'm going to believe that.
Right. That's wrong.
That's wrong. It's like, what? So even the things that we're saying, it's like, if you think that it's wrong, argue against it.
Yeah.
But understand, we have very sharp swords. And if you draw your sword, you may get cut. I like that analogy. Like I've been told that before. Like somebody once told me, they're like you're like a samurai, and I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, when you cut very deep, like you like one hit kill, you know. In your word, like you're very you know what I'm saying, like like straight to the point. So it's like, just come correct.
Yeah.
But if you win the battle, Like if you say something, but see, that's being an open mind. If you honestly say something where I'm like, oh, I had never, but I say that all the time. Like when somebody says something, I'm like, oh, I've never thought of it like that. You're correct. And like, wait, you're not angry? It's like, no, I'm not angry. Like you've educated me on something I had no idea about.
Right.
I prefer to be educated than, but the majority who run under this superficial reality, they prefer to believe that their ways of thinking are correct.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm watching Vish heat up some coffee right now.
Yeah.
You know what I realized? All right, this is going way longer. You gotta go laundry.
Yes.
But all right, final thing. What we're doing right now is exactly what we did as kids, right? Think about this one.
Very true.
So Socratic gamers, we were just Socratic basketball players.
Yeah.
So we would talk about life, and then whenever we get into heated arguments, we'd be like, "Yo, let's play some ball," and then you'd stop thinking about it. So that's why you almost have to balance like the heavy with the light. So the reason why we're playing the video game right now is because like we're gonna go off on some craziness that we're like, we're gonna debate stuff, we're gonna talk about things, but then at the end of the day, we're like, oh look, he's heating a hot dog with his knife.
Yes.
We jump back into the superficial. That's why like the video games are very helpful.
Yeah.
Because if it was just being fully Socratic, then like we just be like crazy. We like,
Oh yeah.
this would be like,
Yeah.
but yeah. So find things that you like to do, and go do them.
Exactly.
Our final thing, Zen and the Art of Archery. I read this book called Zen and the Art of Archery, and that's you're about to get killed, and that.
No, it's a white flag in my camp.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's what Zen and the art of archery is. It says your mind can get very worked up, which is the Socratic, and then you need a way to unwind the mind.
Yeah.
So that's why they use archery, but they said martial arts works, dance works, music works.
Yeah.
But this is why the video game works, because it's a way to unwind the mind.
Yes.
So it's like you got to wind the mind up and wind it back down.
Yeah.
And back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so until next week, as we wind up our own minds, take it easy.
Have a lovely day.
Peace. I like that. All right, take it easy.
See.
Bye.